The next job I'm going to do is get the footer looking mostly like what it should be doing, and then we'll do the text alignment here and the text alignment here with one rule, I think. So looking at what's supposed to be going on in the footer, centered text with a beige color on the background. My next question to myself is, is there a way to identify the footer in the HTML file? Let's see. And it looks like no, not really. I could ID it. Maybe that's what I'll do. Because there's, it's the only P. Is it only P? No? Okay. So there's two things to do here. These two are the only P's in the whole document, paragraph tags that is, and they're both centered. So we could say that every paragraph in the document should be centered, but it's just, it still seems like a little dangerous. I can completely imagine that there might be other paragraphs added to this page later, and they may or may not be centered. So I'm going to ID this as the footer. And while I'm at it, I'm going to ID this as something else, like ID equals summary. Something to say, I know these are paragraphs, but these are just probably a little bit more special. This really is more of a summary paragraph. Again, this is not like a hard and fast rule that I'm doing. It's just I'm thinking ahead and thinking about how this page may be used and altered by the client in the future. And I would just feel more comfortable if there was an ID on here and on here. So now I have an ID of footer, and now I can do something with the footer in the CSS that won't affect P's later, other P's later. So in the footer, I am going to say that the background color is beige. And that, let's see what the spacing looks like. It looks like, so there's a couple other things that are going on in the footer. It's way right smack down at the bottom here, so, and it is, ooh, it's actually underneath the rest of my white container. So that means I need to end the container div before I start the footer. So, and then I have to fool with the margins, it looks like. So let's first clean up the tag issue. So the issue is, if the white area of content needs to end, and then you can see that body background showing through, and then the footer's under it, therefore I gotta get my footer outside of my div by moving this up. Okay, beautify. You can see now that they are on the same level. Okay, so already that's gonna look different. There we go. So that's looking a little bit better. What I can see is, and then if I took a look in the inspector, and just scroll up so I can see the footer, you can see that there are some default margins going on. Taking a look at my preview, I like the top margin, but it should not have any bottom margin because I don't want that gap at the bottom. So let's get rid of that. Margin bottom. I knew it was margin because it was orange in the inspector. 0. Better. Now it's smack up against there. There is a little more space internally, though. If I look here, there is some space. Maybe half an M, maybe an M. It's definitely not as big as this space is. So I'm going to say half an M, 3/4 of an M, something like that. Let's see. Padding, 0.5 EM. I could also do this in REMs if I wanted to do it relative to the body font size. That looks all right. I think I'll leave it at that. Okay, so now I've gotten that part. Now the last thing I need to do is I need to center this text, and I need to center this text. And again, I could say that all P's get to be centered, but that just seems a little dangerous to me. So instead, I'm going to write a rule that will hit the footer and also the summary. Sometimes if I think I'll mess up the spelling of these, I'll copy and paste them from the HTML. I think I can handle it though. So I'm going to say the footer and also the summary, so comma selector here, combination selector. Both these are going to be text align center. That is looking good. No, the handout said this is 60%, but I don't know if I totally believe it. Kind of funny. Oh, of course, my browser size it's going to affect that. Yeah, okay. Of course. Okay, so far so good. I think in the next one we'll hit the bullets and make them into splatters.